I remember when I posted my video talking about why Deshaun Watson, well, more accurately, why Tua Tagovailoa might not be the answer for the Dolphins, which would make Miami consider trading him for Deshaun Watson. And, I talked about it. I didn't really go briefly into Deshaun Watson because, to be honest, I didn't think Deshaun Watson would be the best fit for Miami. In fact, I thought that Miami would be the second best place for Deshaun Watson, but I didn't think that they were the best. And the reason why I didn't think they were the best was because of this team that I mentioned in my last episode. The Washington football team. Yeah, people are going to dislike this automatically. Question, you're wrong, you're stupid. Just hear me out. And let me tell you why he should go, and maybe some things why he shouldn't. Or more accurately, maybe Houston themselves. The organization. More accurately, Nick Sirianni, or what the hell his name was, the GM of the Houston Texans. So, for starters, we're going to talk about the good things, and then we're going to talk about the bad things, because let's start. Washington. They need a quarterback. Dead straight, they need a quarterback. This year, they released Dwayne Haskins. Alex Smith clearly isn't the answer, due to the fact that this man can barely move out of the pocket. You would need the best offensive line in the entire NFL, and I don't see that happening. And Tyler Heinicke, we don't know. He played 2 games, played okay the first game, and then played incredible the second game, and we don't know if he is truly what people believe he could be for Washington. I would say, set him as the backup. You could have a sort of Nick Foles type of situation where if Deshaun ever gets injured, he comes in and plays incredible. Hell, he might play incredible in the playoffs. I don't see you winning a Super Bowl with Tyler Heinicke, but he could be the best backup in the league behind Deshaun Watson if he does join Washington. The offense. The offense has a star wide receiver in Terry McLaurin, rather than Houston, where they traded their star receiver, DeAndre Hopkins, to the Cardinals, which involved them, Houston, having, Will Fuller, who got suspended, Randall Cobb, who is a veteran, so he's not really that much of a star, and Brandon Cooks, a receiver who you didn't need to get because he's getting paid the same amount that DeAndre Hopkins is getting paid right now. You could have literally just paid DeAndre Hopkins the exact same amount as Brandon Cooks, and DeAndre Hopkins would have been completely better than Brandon Cooks. Cooks is alright, but when you see how much money he's making, and how good DeAndre Hopkins is with Deshaun Watson, it's clearly obvious it was a terrible decision from the get-go. They have a breakout tight end this year in Logan Thomas, who was a quarterback for Arizona, and then went around different teams until he became a tight end for Washington, had a breakout year this season. They have a rookie running back who played pretty good, and Antonio Gibson, and he's looking like the running back of the future, unless some things happen. They have a solid offensive line, that's pretty good, and all they truly need, if they do sign or trade for Deshaun Watson, is one more receiver. All they need is that second receiver, and Washington's offense would be a top 10, hell, I could even consider a top 8 offense if they truly get one more receiver, if Deshaun Watson does indeed go to Washington. The defense. The defense. This is really good. The defense, Washington, has the best defensive line in the entire league, has the second best defense in the entire league, only behind LA. which is pretty good. Best defensive line and second best defense in general in the entire league, except for the Rams. And, the secondary, pretty good. It's pretty good. Nothing special. But when it comes to that defensive line, it helps a lot. Coach. What would be better than, Bill O'Brien or, anyone who's going to replace him? How about a coach that went to a Super Bowl? Ron Rivera. Rivera went to a Super Bowl with Cam Newton, who we can clearly tell from New England, he's not much of a passer, more accurately, an accurate passer, and he went to the Super Bowl. Granted, Cam actually had, Greg Olsen, and they had one of the best defenses in the league that year. Not just that. Coach Ron Rivera turned a team that went 2-14 to 7-9, and made the playoffs their first year. With Coach Ron Rivera. Granted, they were in the worst division, arguably in NFL history. But you know what? Doesn't matter. A team that could have went 6-10 couldn't make the playoffs. So this is pretty good. And in 1 year, Coach Ron Rivera has changed the culture in Washington. Not only that, he did that while having cancer treatment due to the fact that he had cancer around his neck. And had to go through a lot of pain, but in the end, a lot of things happened for Coach Ron Rivera. The division. As I mentioned, with the record, this is arguably the worst division in NFL history. And if Deshaun Watson goes to any of these teams, they will automatically make the playoffs. The only one who I consider not making it would be the Dallas Cowboys, due to how horrific the defense was, and due to the idiotic coach, Mike McCarthy. But, aside from that, any team that Deshaun Watson goes to automatically would make the playoffs. The Eagles, Carson Wentz was garbage, and Jalen Hurts almost showed up in the last 3 games, and he could barely do anything. I believe that was mainly because of the front office of Philadelphia not letting Doug Peterson in full control of who is the quarterback. I mean, clearly this season was over from the get-go. So why did Jalen Hurts even come in? To make them not look stupid. And the Giants had Deshaun Watson. He is completely better than Daniel Jones. They would have made the playoffs, and they would have beaten teams that they would have beaten. Mainly Philadelphia, when things were needed. Alright. Now let's talk about the reasons why Deshaun Watson might not want to go to Washington. And there's only 2 reasons why. The draft cap and the owner. Let's just start with the owner. Let's get this one out of the way clearly. The owner. Daniel Snyder. Yes. Daniel Snyder could be a possible reason why Deshaun Watson might not go to Washington. He had to deal with one terrible owner, and now, if he does go to Washington, he had to deal with Daniel Snyder, who he will consider to be even worse, due to the past with Washington's name, how he was never going to change it until this year, when, he was kind of forced to, and of course, the sexual harassment towards women that was in Washington that came out, despite the fact that Daniel Snyder had nothing to do with those sexual harassment. He is the owner, and he ignored all of those claims came from the woman, which is on him. Yes, he didn't do anything towards them, but he is the owner. He should know exactly what's happening in his organization, and due to that, that is a possible reason why Deshaun Watson might not go to Washington. the racial team name, and the ignorance of Daniel Snyder of sexual harassment. But I will say, Daniel Snyder has not caused anything wrong this year. In fact, he's trying to do better with the help of Ron Rivera, and it seems like him and Daniel Snyder have a pretty good connection. So hopefully, Ron Rivera can influence Daniel Snyder to be a better human being and change the organization in a complete 180 into a good organization. And the picks. The draft capital. Yes, it is true the Jets and Dolphins have higher and better draft picks for Houston to take. But here's the thing. Washington could pull an LA, the LA Rams. As a great example, let me just explain to you what I mean. The Rams have not had a first-round pick since they selected Jared Goff first overall. And that was 2016, in the 2016 draft. And now with the recent trade for Matthew Stafford, they basically got rid of 2 more first-round picks, and they got rid of the 2016 first overall pick in Jared Goff to Detroit. Washington could pull a similar move to that, and if Matthew Stafford is only 2 first-round picks and a first overall, which translates to 3 first-round picks, Deshaun Watson is more. In fact, if you want Deshaun Watson in the talks, you probably would need to consider 4 to possibly 5 first-round picks at least, and you might consider a couple seconds and a couple thirds. And yes, besides the fact you're trading your future picks to a terrible organization where they can draft their quarterback of the future, you get yourself your future quarterback basically until probably his 40s, due to the fact how Tom Brady is playing at 43, and he even said he might consider playing past 45. Drew Brees is 42 and is possibly considering retiring. Philip Rivers already retired this year, and Big Ben is near the age of 40, and Aaron Rodgers, the way he's looking, probably will play past 40, though probably won't be for the Green Bay Packers. And other players like Patrick Mahomes, Deshaun Watson, Josh Allen, if he could continue playing the way he is, and Justin Herbert, if he is truly the answer for the Chargers. All of them could play until the age of 40, unless something major happens to them. So, that's all I have to say. There's a lot of good reasons why Deshaun Watson should truly go to Washington. He would truly be needed in Washington. They have a good offense, the second best defense in the entire league, a respectable head coach in Rivera. The worst division he's in, automatically he's going to make the playoffs and be a top 4 team. Though record might not be exactly as good as the rest, he would be having a home game. And the only things that Deshaun Watson truly wouldn't want to go to is the owner Daniel Snyder, which, if Ron Rivera truly has influence on him, he could change. And, well, truly, Houston, the only thing they probably want is draft picks, and even though that probably won't truly get a high enough pick for them to draft a quarterback in the first round, they could trade some picks due to the fact that, let's be honest here, if they get like 5 first round picks, they could truly trade 1 or 2 to move up to the Bengals or Miami to truly draft their quarterback of the future. If that's going to be Justin Fields or Zach Wilson, or hell, they might even pull a surprise turn or select Mac Jones or Trey Lance, though probably won't happen. Houston is really crazy, so who knows? That is all That's truly why I believe Deshaun Watson should go to Washington. Tell me below where he should go. Tell me in the comments down below if you agree, disagree, like this video, subscribe, just do all we can and do everything on the way. I'll see you guys in the next video where we talk about whatever is interesting to me. Goodbye. And a little PS right now. We will make an update to the mock draft due to where teams are landed and due to trades and possible quarterback possibilities. So just let you guys all know, a mock draft will be coming out pretty soon, probably after the Super Bowl. And who knows, we might do a Super Bowl reaction. So I can't wait.